Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Bishop, the Tier 5 British SPG. This one's located on the northeast corner of Mannerheim Line, and it's under the command of Teepoika. And this is unusual. We've actually got somebody who is related to the Mannerheim Line. Game on! Well, actually, yes, Teepoika is related to General Carl Gustav Emil Mannerheim. It's in his family. And in fact, actually, the gentleman concerned, the general, actually was originally from Germany, not himself, but he was a Swedish nobleman from a German family, and he moved to Finland. In fact, he actually was trained by the Imperial Russian Army and acted as various posts, including a spy for the Imperial Russians, and eventually he moved to Finland and of course was eventually in their army. Okay, first target, T-35M, moving too quickly there to get an accurate shot on him. Now we've got a partial rescue, which means something's obstructing the field of fire, but he's actually in the right position to get shots on this guy. Bounce out. Oh my gun! He wiped that guy out with a shell right to the rear of the vehicle. Now it's a Tier 7 game with Tier 5 tanks on it. Now something you may not know is that General Mannerheim was 50 years after his death was voted one of the greatest Finnish people of all time, even though he was actually from Sweden. In fact, it wasn't his first language. His first language, his native language, was Swedish, and then he learned German, English, Russian, and finally he learned Finnish eventually. But he was the one, of course, who came up the defensive line on which this map is actually built. And of course that was from the Finnish-Soviet War, the winter conflict that actually took place in 1939 to 1940. Oh, that's a direct hit. Yep, definitely touched the Tiger there. See if you can pump another one in. This is one of the few artists that is capable of perma-tracking the vehicle. And he just got another direct hit, which means that Tiger is still there, but we just can't see him. Rounds out again. And he's still there. My God, he has perma-tracked him. The guy can't get away from that position unless he uses his repair kit, and he's probably already used it. And that's another direct hit. Next shot might be the kill shot, but wipes out a Tiger. Rounds out. Oh, no it doesn't. He managed to get away in the end. According to the team list, he's still in the game, the Tiger 1, but he's probably very badly wounded. And that AT2 is now down, so that's 2 kills. That T-34 is going to die very quickly. So there he is, and he's still got some hit points, but he just drove into the water because of that steep slope. And now he's been hit again. Wasn't tracked by that shot though, but he'll be dreading getting tracked again because he knows what will happen. They lined up, ready to go, rounds out. And that's another direct hit. Now, there's nobody except a Panzer IV Ausführung H between us and the enemy tanks, and I rather think that Tiger wants to get a good shot at him now, so he's actually moving to get away because he knows that that Panzer IV Ausführung H is probably not going to be able to stop the Tiger, even though he's got more health. The Bishop, of course, you all know, based on the Valentine 2, was basically a stopgap. They weren't actually intending to manufacture more of these. They only built 149, but they made it as a stopgap because it could carry the 25-pounder gun. And of course, most of the British artillery shells were 25-pounders. So we can see 2 enemy tanks have been spotted now. G2 SP and a Tiger 1. Our teammate in the Panzer IV is just a bit further back on our right as we're looking to it right now. The G2 is over next to that wall. He's very, very close to it, hugging the wall to stop the Panzer IV from seeing him. There he is. Okay, so we can spot him, and that means that we can get the kill. Teepoika lining him up. Gets another hit. And this time round, he is taking fire from one of our teammates. The T-78 can see him as well. Bounce out. Another tracking shot, but he actually starts moving afterwards. So maybe he's used his repair kit, or maybe he's just trying to get close to the wall. And he does die this time to the Challenger. So it was a wise decision to pull back. In fact, if you can see on the minimap, the Panzer IV has been wiped out, but there is a Shure Mill coming up the right side, or the left side rather, of the rock. So I think that the pulling back to this position has really helped, because if he was out in the open, he'd more than likely get wiped out. And we're 2 down on the enemy at the moment. Now, as you may know, the Bishop had severe problems with its range, mainly down to the fact that the casement was just too restricted. You couldn't get the shots onto long range because you couldn't raise the elevation of the howitzer. And that one went slightly long. I think that was RNG, but what is this Shure Mill doing? He's turning in circles. And I think he's AFK. Now he's out the game, and he'll be very disappointed if he was AFK, that he went away for a split second and then ended up dead. Shure Mill with the top gun, which of course is the 128mm gun, not the 105, which is the same as on the Dickomax. And there's the Tiger. The Challenger's gone hunting for him, and he does get the kill. So now we're back up to 10 all. The enemy RT in this game is an Su-122A, which is the Tier 5 Soviet. Now they had such a lot of problems with range on the the Bishop hull, so they actually wanted to buy a different Arty, and of course they tried to buy the M7, the Priest, because of course that had a 105mm gun. They couldn't use it because Britain didn't produce the 105mm ammunition, and that would mean actually depending on the Americans to supply all our ammo. What we did produce was the 25-pounder round, as I mentioned, and so yes, they have plenty of that. So they needed another RT with a 25-pounder howitzer, and that turned out to be the Sexton 2. Okay, he's positioning himself near the cap, but right down in the south. And this is good logic as well, because there's a possibility that the enemy is going to appear from the north after driving round from the west side of the map. Well, we've just killed the Su-122A, so he's out the game. Challenger's still in the game. And he might, yes, he has killed the T-34 as well. Teepoika making his way around the south route. He might want to get close to the water, though, to protect him. Of course, being close to the water means they won't see the actual vehicle, but they might see the shells. And the M2Y is now in sight. Okay, it's gone to the aim. Lining up a shot ahead of its path. Rounds out. No. It's close, but not close enough. And now we've lost sight of him because, of course, the Challenger is the guy who's spotting for us. Oh, that hit! And it did hit the tracks. We're probably going to get spotted now. We're a little too close. Oh, he's going down the ramp, so he's okay. Should be able to get a shot. The M2Y's gone behind that rock, and the Challenger's pulled back. Now, the Churchill 7 and the 60 GFT on the enemy team, they might try to go the north route. In fact, they have. The 60 GFT has just turned up near our cap area, but of course, he might not last very long because we do have that T78 up there, and he's got a 90mm gun. And that was a direct hit. Now, the 60 GFT. Oh, and the Churchill's up there as well. So, the M2Y, he thinks he's got the advantage. We've been spotted. We just missed with that shot. And we do take a round from the M2Y. It was an HE round as well. He wanted to wipe us out with one shot. Unfortunately, for him, he actually hit the heavy armor. Otherwise, we would have been wiped out. Now, the enemy have lost their 60 GFT to the T78. And now the Challenger goes around the corner and wipes out that M2Y. Now, if the Challenger has got any smarts, he'll go straight for the cap and start putting pressure on the Churchill 7 to guarantee that we get the win. Teepoika is actually going, well, he changed his mind. He decided to go back, but he's now going to go to the cap as well. In fact, the Churchill 7 turned about and is actually headed back to his own cap area at this moment, or at least it seems like that. T78's firing at him. Looks like the Challenger wants the kill as well. The Churchill is a one-shot. Let's see if he can actually get the kill. Well, we're within range, so we can now hit the Churchill 7. There he is. We're dialing in. Make it very accurate, very tight. That's nice. Rounds out. Could be a kill. He gets him! And he wins the game! Well played, Teepoika! Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Teepoika in the Bishop. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. He managed to get 9. And his win 8 was 5,622 because that's super income standard. And yes, he was hitting tier 7, so he was earning extra XP for hitting those higher tier tanks. Let's have a look at team score. Didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Challenger on our team, picked up a high caliber and 3,024 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the M2Y, who managed 2,558, and the third was the Churchill 7, who got 2,341. Teepoika got 1,610 hit points of damage. When it came to kills, I think the Challenger might be a bit disappointed because he actually got 5 kills in that game, and by Teepoika taking out the Churchill 7, he missed out on getting a top gun. But even so, the Challenger got the highest number of kills, and then Teepoika and the Churchill 7 on the enemy team both got 4 kills apiece, followed up by the M2Y, who got 3. And yes, if you look at the damage on Teepoika's Bishop, you can see that the shell, the HE shell that he fired, did hit the gun shield, so he was aiming for the weak spots, but it looks like it actually hit the mantlet, or the area around the actual gun, and that's why he didn't get a kill shot out of it. I think the gun may have blocked some of the damage that was actually done to the vehicle. When it came to base XP, we can see the Challenger still came out on top, getting the top in all 3 columns. 1,207 went to the Challenger, 898 went to the T78, 856 went to the VK4503, and then we've got Teepoika in 3rd place with 829. He fired 26 rounds in that game, got 17 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 20 splash. 1,610 hit points of damage, of which 1,594 were at more than 300 meters. Many of those direct hits were probably direct hits on the Tiger, who kept getting tracked time after time after time. 1 hit received, it was a penetrating shot from the M2Y, wasn't enough to wipe him out. So it may have been that he just didn't get a roll big enough to do it. 7 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and he got 288 hit points of damage assist in the game. On a free-to-play account, he made a profit of 43,790 credits, including 30,000 for mission completion and 829 base XP as well. Very good game, and yes, he stayed with it. He wanted the kill himself, and yes, the thing about the Bishop is the shells, they're coming down almost vertically on the target if you're at maximum range, and he was at maximum range with that Churchill 7, and so he was able to plant that shell right down on top of the turret, where of course it had weak armor, and it just completely wiped the tank out with one go. Hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.